Hey guys, it's me here with your weekly update. It's hard to believe that tomorrow starts October. I feel like it's just kind of like, oh, and now it's October, which to me always feels like the beginning of the end because it's like, and then you have Halloween, and then you have Thanksgiving, and then I have a lot of birthdays in between there, and then Christmas, and it's like, and boom, the year is over. It's like 90 some days, and then we're at the end of the year. And so there's just going to be a lot happening between now and then. So I'll try to keep you guys updated weekly so that you guys can just stay on top of what's going on so you guys can participate. In things and just be a part of what God's doing within our ministry. The first thing is it's a new month, so we're starting a new series called Road Trip, and we're actually taking the next 4 weeks and we're going through the Ten Commandments. I just would encourage you guys to just I always struggle when it comes to like the Ten Commandments and stuff like that. Not because I don't think they're important. I actually think they're really important. But it's the fact that I grew up in a very legalistic church. Well, not church, but Christian school and stuff like that. So, and honestly, part of it's just that's my personality is to be like, oh, if you tell me what to do, I'll just do it. Um, and so whenever you give me rules and stuff like that, it makes it very like I just very much just follow it. And so as we talk about the Ten Commandments, I just want us to be aware of just how we're communicating it. Like obviously these are 10 commandments given us to us from God, so they are important, they are things to be thinking about, but just know that because of Jesus, there's a lot of grace and mercy in that, and really it all comes down to loving God and loving others, which by the way, that's actually our memory verse is Luke 10:27 is our memory verse for the month. So it's, love the Lord your God with all your strength, heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And I know I got those four things probably in the wrong order, but it's the same concept. Um, and so but the reality is we get to love God and we get to love others because we have first experienced God's love for us and experienced Jesus' love for us. So I want those things to be hand in hand when we talk about these things. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions about what that could look like on a Sunday, let me know. I hope, I just quoted our memory verse. I hope you guys, it's written to our curriculum every week. And when I think about like what are pieces that are very important for us every week, memory verse is one of them. Psalm 119 says, I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And I think that's really important, especially as I think about our kids nowadays and the culture. And I was actually just meeting with another kids pastor this afternoon, and we were just talking about, it's like, man, like, who's teaching our kids? Like who do we want to be teaching our kids? Do we want, parents to be discipling their kids and teaching them about Jesus? Or do we want culture to be telling them what to think? And like frankly, as a parent, I want to be teaching my kids what to think. Like not to say that they can't hear the things from culture, but like I want my kids to hear what I think and what I think Jesus might want to have to say about something. That's why we go to church. That's why we go to church and why we do devotionals and stuff like that, and why we read our Bibles. So to me, a memory verse is one of those like non-negotiables we do every Sunday in every classroom that has it. So preschool, elementary, and epic will have memory verses every month or every series, because I know epic isn't always necessarily on the month. So memory verses. So do the memory verse activities. Encourage the kids to share on Sundays, like, hey, like especially week 2 or 3 in, they're like, hey, who here has been practicing their memory verse? Great job, you guys. Here's why we do memory verses. I think it's really important for us to have like God's scripture in our hearts. So when we're in the midst of like a conflict with a friend or something's happening and we're not sure what we think about what's happening, like we can have God's word in our hearts to help guide us in those moments when we're not quite sure what to do next. So I think those are just really important reasons why we should always be doing the memory verse. And then we always have those very handy dandy magnet cards. So don't just leave them on the doors or on wherever they're stuck, because parents won't remember to take them, but hand them to the parents like, hey, by the way, here's our memory verse for the month. We're encouraging all of our kids to memorize it. Take all month to practice at home. Just read it very simple. Like just read it together every night at the dinner table. And by the end of the month, you'll probably have it memorized. Memorize it together as a family. Make it silly. So just to really encourage our families and our kids to be practicing the memory verse to me. I think it's just really important. And by the way, you guys too. So if you're like, oh, I don't know this one by heart, I would encourage you guys to memorize it. It's actually really funny. I grew up doing Awana, and I was in a Christian high school, so I had like memorized lots of Bible verses. Um, I I and a lot of them I have some still like stuck in my head very well. I had like very general notions of like, so like I actually had to memorize the entire book of James in high school, which was great. And to this day, I'm like, I may not be able to get right to the exact chapter and verse, but I'm like, I know that's in the book of James. And so it's actually really helpful to be like, oh yeah, let me find that again. Um, so all that to say is this isn't wasted. This isn't a wasted thing. Um, and so I just want to encourage you guys to keep doing this. But I want you guys to also be doing memory verses. I actually try to memorize a lot of our verses too, like, and having them actually prescribed for me every month has actually been very helpful. So I would encourage you guys to memorize this verse. So here's the deal: I will give a $5 gift card, Starbucks gift card, or Chick-fil-A gift card, because I know not everybody likes Starbucks. You guys can choose. For to whoever comes up to me on a Sunday or sends me a video of you guys saying, "I'm going to test you. I'm going to trust your integrity here of saying the memory verse by heart." So it's Luke 10:27. I think you guys can do it. It was actually you know, I'm not going to get like stickler, like, do you have the heart, mind, soul, strength, and body all in order? Maybe not, but like, do you have it? Um, so that's it. So there's just a few logistical, like, here's things that are happening this month I want you guys to be aware of. So first of all is October 9th is our next Kids Night Out program. So you guys, if you have kids, sign up and let our parents know. October 10th is child dedication. So this week, it's still not too late for anybody who wants to do it. So especially toddler and nursery volunteers, as you're talking to parents, like, hey, you heard about our child dedications? Have you participated in yet? Let us know ASAP and we can get you the information. And then at the end of the month, October 30th, we have Trunk or Treat. Which again, you guys, I really need as many cars as possible to make this a great event for our community. This is an opportunity to serve our community, to serve the families, to let people know, like, hey, we're here, we're a church, we care about families, we care about kids. Why don't you just come and let us bless you guys during this holiday. If we get a lot of cars or a lot of people signed up, maybe we can turn it into more of like a carnival thing where we have games and stuff like that. More than just trunks. And by the way, if you're like, hey, I would do this, but I'm not so sure about how to decorate a trunk, Party City actually has trunk decorating kits for like $30, which I think is amazing. And the great thing is, because we're doing October 30th, it still allows families within our church to go trick-or-treating on the 31st. So like, I know the other night at the dinner table, we were talking about Halloween costumes. I was like, oh, we should do a family one, and we could do our trunk. And so I just started thinking about, like, because I was like, oh yeah, and then we'll all, like, together as a family, serve our community. So it's a great way to get families involved in serving, by doing a trunk together and like getting all fun. And maybe I'll do a prize for the best dressed trunk and themes and stuff like that. So trunk or treat October 30th. It's from 4 to 6, so it's not very late. We'll have some daylight at least for setting up, and then October 31st, which is Halloween, is actually on a Sunday this year, you guys. So I'm going to allow the kids to come to church dressed in their Halloween costumes, as long as they're not super scary. Same with us as adults. So you'll probably see me dressed up in something. Again, not super scary. And we'll probably do a little mix of, like, because I will always talk about Jesus. So I might, and because we're actually going to be starting on our next series, we'll do a very shortened lesson for the morning, and then we'll go into like a Halloween party for the morning. So it should be lots of fun for the kiddos. Starting October 10th, so not this Sunday, just because it's 5 weeks out. Maybe starting October 10th, we'll start announcing it to the kids and families, like, hey, this fun thing's coming up, so they can make sure they're attending or inviting friends and stuff like that. So that's everything I'm aware of, at least for right now, for October. There might be more. I might have forgotten about some things. Just stay tuned to emails or next, continue listening to these. Oh, that's what it is. There's one more thing there was. October 10th, you guys, we're in this every week series on Sunday mornings. October 10th, we're going to be talking about kids ministry and the importance of what it is that we do and why we do what we do on Sundays, which I'm really super excited for Corey to preach. We're also going to turn that into Recruitment Sunday. So that's the Sunday where Corey's just going to ask the church to be like, hey, like, you just heard our hearts and our vision for kids ministry and why we do this, and we need more people to serve. So number one, you guys, keep praying for people to say yes and to respond. And number two is, even if you're not serving that Sunday, I just ask that you wear your Kid Venture shirt. I think it just helps identify you as somebody who serves. So as you're either talking to somebody in the service, or if somebody has questions, they could very easily identify, like, somebody wearing a Kid Venture shirt of, like, oh yeah, like, tell me what your experience is like. So even for you guys to be thinking through now, between now and the 10th, to be like, hey, this is what my experience is like. This is how great it is. Here's a couple of great stories of serving with the kids and how I feel like God's blessed me as I served. Things like that, just to have ready to hopefully share with people. So that's it, you guys. Can't wait to see you all on Sunday. Oh, the church is having a popcorn party, so come ready to eat some delicious popcorn. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.